I'm going to take a break from the cage thing this week because I need a mental break, and I'm going to start working on a little bit of my door panel and then finishing up the Kilmat in the back. The driver's side and the passenger side windows don't roll up or down. I've got new motor regulators for them, and I just really want to get my interior going. And right now the only thing that's keeping me from like moving forward with my interior is the freaking cage. Okay, so worst case scenario, I gotta peel back the rear carpet to put the cage in. At least I could continue making progress and not losing my mind, because I've got all this interior stuff, carpet to do, door panels, seats. Literally everything is being halted for this stupid cage that I've committed to do. So anyways, putting the cage aside and I'm moving forward, I will get to that cage, but before we lose our minds, let's get to it. If you missed any videos in the series, it's right here. This is my 1980 C3 Corvette rat racer that I'm bringing to life. I mean, I still even have to do like the outside of the car. Like, but no! Instead, every week I'm just slaving away making fake cages and bonking my head on metal and worrying about being electrocuted by a welder. Let's go. This out of the way first. So it's one little bit left of sound deadening that I'm going to lay out, so I don't ever have to do this again. I've been posting videos of me doing this Kilmat, obviously, you know, because I post videos, and people keep telling me in the comments to open up the rear window, and some people are like not even nice about it. They're like, yo, you stupid or something, open up the rear window. Or, did it ever occur to you to open up the rear window? Open up the hatch, like in all caps and stuff like that. You guys, for those of you who don't know, not that you would, but that's fine, the rear hatch on a 1980 C3 Corvette does not open. Otherwise, I'd open it. I mean, I do dumb things. I do dumb, but I don't do that dumb most of the time. Yeah, it doesn't open. I'm stuck back here. And I'm not doing the T-top, I'm not taking the T-tops off today because the sun's gonna beat down on me, so I actually use them as shade. Hello. I'm not gonna put that rolly panel back, obviously, so this can go. It's crazy that I'm actually coming to the end of this sound deadening Kilmat stuff. I do have the doors to complete, which I keep forgetting, but the doors are so far off because I've got to get my windows and door locks working before I even attempt that. It does feel so, like, I don't know, therapeutic when everything's covered in this Kilmat. It just looks so clean. I just love it so much, and I feel like I did a really good job this time. Contrary to what any of you say, I'm proud of my work. I'm very proud of my work. The stuff sticks so well because the back of the car is so hot, so it's not like I have to heat it up or anything like that. It just conforms so nicely, and just, it really adheres to this fiberglass body that's back here, because that's what it is. Back here, it's all fiberglass. There's no metal back here. The floor pans under the seats, those are metal. The birdcage back here is fiberglass, so stop telling me that that's rust. It's not rust. Fiberglass doesn't rust. I think it's important to remember that if you're not having fun with your project car, what's the point, right? Like, I'm actually having fun right now doing like that cage mock-up stuff in the welding kit setup, like just that stuff for like 3 weeks in a row. I was not looking forward to working on my car anymore. That's why I took a break from it today. I want enjoyment, and you probably get like tired of watching that cage stuff too. So anyways, variety is the spice of life, and I don't want to like burn out on my own project car, which is supposed to be the most fun thing in the world to me, right? Have any of you ever rolled over your finger with this? It's actually so excruciatingly painful, you'd be shocked. Like when I rolled over, I was like, I stood there, I was like, I felt like I rolled over it with a car. It hurt so bad. In other words, I don't recommend it. Matt, 2 seconds. It's really hot. I finished laying out as much sound deadening as there will be. There is no more space for any more sound deadening. Keep in mind, if I do change my mind on the cage, I did keep the fiberglass pieces that I cut out, so I can always put them back in, sound deaden it over it, and all that I would be lost is the money that I spent on the welder and the cage. I just wanted to throw that out there, okay, in case I don't do it. But anyways, on to the door. Let's figure out what exactly I need to do to get this window rolled up on the passenger side. Let's go. Alright, so I know that the wiring that runs through the main cabin here has all been cut for whatever reason, so I'm gonna need new wiring harnesses. That's no problem. They're $100, $100 each. So this is cut, I don't know why, but at least I've got access wire. And this guy's not connected to nothing. I have a secret weapon or a secret tool that's very handy. And that's the hint of what it is. It's very handy. You want to know what it is? It's my teeny tiny hands and my long arms. The fact that this probe came with so much extra wire is so annoying. Guys, I'm not going to be that stupid person that goes through all the trouble to replace the motor and it doesn't work. I will bench test it before I install it. It's just, it takes 10 seconds to do and takes the, you know, the surprise out of getting it in there and finding out that the new one doesn't work either because it's made in China and you got it off Amazon for $12.99. You know? Bench test it. Save yourself the grief. So as you can see, I bench tested the new motor. It works fine. The old motor, I can hear it like very weak. It's like it will turn like a little bit and it'll go clank clank, and then it's completely gone. So I've never taken out a window on a C3 Corvette before, so I did research it on YouTube. I believe that I'll be able to replace the motor without taking the entire regulator assembly out, so hopefully that will work. We'll see how it goes. If not, it doesn't seem so bad. You take the window out. I probably have to do that anyways at some point in time for something. Who knows, right? There's supposedly a spring in here that will wildly unwind if you take the motor off, but since it's attached to the window and the window's stopped, at the highest position, I don't think that will happen. But I should probably just double check to be sure. Can you imagine? Window goes flying up, cuts my face off. So I figured it out. It is the, it's definitely the motor, the window motor, and I might be able to replace it without taking out the whole regulator. And if I can do that, that means I can avoid taking out the window. I'm going to order the new wiring harness for the passenger side because I definitely need that. And I'm going to order new trim pieces for the inside. So once I do the job, I can actually like complete it. I think that's all I'm going to need. And then of course a door panel. I will order a door panel eventually. So yeah. This makes no sense. I just want to do this. It's not going to be the real stickers I put on the car. I'm going to put real stickers on when I'm done with it. But I just wanted to do that. It was fun. Alright, so I did... so I researched it and I definitely can replace the window motor without having to take the entire regulator out. There's just a couple things that you have to be mindful of. One of which is putting a screw to hold the spring down. Kind of hard to explain, but once you take the motor out, there's a wind-up spring that will unwind, and it shouldn't do anything. It shouldn't push the window up because there's stoppers on it, and the spring is to help push the window up. But just as a precaution, I'm going to try to find that hole with this. Basically, it's like a safety bolt, so I'm going to try to find that. In order to do that, though, I have to roll the window down about halfway. So I'm going to see if I can get the old motor cranking just a little bit to do it. The old motor. Close. So I can feel the holes start to like line up as the window comes down. Alright, I got the bolt in, so I'm gonna unbolt the motor now. This is not a 10 millimeter. It would be a 7/8. I know, that was like a confusing statement. I have to get the bolt in to get the bolts out. The bolt that I'm speaking about is the safety bolt that keeps the regulator spring from unwinding, and if it unwinds, it'll like ram jam that window up. Or it could like pop off its base and then you have to replace the whole regulator. So that's what I'm talking about. It's a safety bolt. Very hard to explain, but there's a great dude on YouTube who has put a clear panel on his C3 Corvette door so you can see the inner workings. It was a heck of a lot more helpful than my Chilton auto manual, let me tell you. I don't know what his name is, I forgot, but it was like a lifesaver. It was like looking at the human body with no flesh. Great image to leave you with. It's crazy how I can just I literally just took this plate off probably 5 minutes prior to this, and I've got no recollection of how it went. Nothing. It happens, you know, you're out in the heat working on this stuff, and it just, I don't know, you forget. But anyways, the hardest part is just getting this motor back in. You kind of have to like pry the panel open a little bit to like get that gear back into place. But this is where my secret weapon of my teeny tiny hands really comes in handy. I can do so much with my little hands. All these little crevices, my hands fit. There are times that I get frustrated and I just sit there and stare at it as if I stare and it's going to work itself out. And then I realize if I don't figure it out, no one else is going to, so I'm back at it. Alright, the hardest part of this has just been squeezing the motor back in here, I think. We'll see. I did it, you guys. Lube it or lose it. A statement that the previous owner must have never heard, because this thing was dry. It was dry, you guys. It's just completely desert, dusty in there. Could barely move up and down, but I lubed it up. And it got a little bit easier. I felt pretty darn accomplished right now. So the super right thing to do would have been to take the entire regulator out, clean up all the old gunk and grease and all that stuff, and then replace the motor. But I would have to take out the window, and I just don't want to. Maybe I'll do it someday, but my window rolls up and down now. I do have to like grease the components up, but I'm so stoked. I ordered a new wiring harness for that side. The one that's in there is like cut up to 1,000,000 pieces. So I ordered a new one. When that comes, I'll also tackle the door locks on that side too. But small wins, like my window rolls up and down now. So exciting. We have a working window. Whew. So to sum up the project, you do have to bring, unless you want to risk that spring unwinding, as they say, violently, which who knows if it's true or not. It could just be like a myth. But if you want to even avoid risking it, try to get the window low enough where the two bolt holes, those two holes, and as the window comes down, they line up. I got mine to line up just enough where I could stick a bolt through, and I've got really small hands, which definitely came in my favor because I was able to like slide my hands in between these little things and do this with my little hands. I got to do this little things with my little hands. So it made it a lot easier. So once I got that bolt in, I was safe to unscrew the 7/8 bolts behind the motor, the window motor. Once those came undone, there's a plate that gets removed, and then again the hardest part is just getting that motor out from where it's sandwiched. You kind of have to like pry the door panel away from the regulator a little bit, get it out. I read a lot of people saying that they had a hard time adjusting where their gears went to get the motor back in. Well, I compared just the old motor with the new motor, and I made sure before I put the new motor in to line up my gears as close to the old motor as possible. Once I did that, I managed to ram jam that motor sandwich back between the regulator and the door panel, and once it was in there, I could kind of feel around with my fingers to make sure that the teeth were aligned, which they were. And then I got that plate back on, and then I got the bolts back on, and then I tested it, and it works. Slowly at first, and then I put some grease on the tracks the best I could while the window's still in the car, cleaned it up a little bit as much as I possibly could, just really sprayed grease on anything that I could reach, and now it's like whew, 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 like up and down. I can't use the switch because the switch is disconnected, so that's not gonna happen. The switch is completely dead. But like this thing here, So where this plugs into the motor, where this plugs into the wiring harness has been cut, so that's not going to work. So again, I ordered a new wiring harness from Flight Automotive today, and they had a 4th of July sale. Not by the time you watch this, but anyways, at the time there was a 4th of July sale, so I got 15% off and like free shipping. So I ordered new window felts, one new harness, some random screws, and I feel like I ordered something else that I can't remember right now, but it came just the $300. Then I got the 15% off, and it came a little less than that. So I'll do the other side as well, but I'm going to completely finish fixing up this side before I do the driver's side. So with the wiring and everything. Oh, I don't know. I might need to reference the wiring on the other side, so I lied. I might have to take the door panel off next week. But I'm just really excited after struggling with that cage for so long and taking a break from that. It's so nice to get a win with this window rolling up and down. And now I can like drive the car around and not have to take the T-tops off for airflow. So all I have to do is keep my little probe in the car for now. So if I want to roll it up or down, I just connect my probe to my battery and press the little button and it goes up or down for now until I replace the switch. So that does it. I'll see you guys next week. I hope. Please come back. See you later. Nothing like a smog legal straight pipe 1980 C3 Corvette race car, huh?